Hello there, what is going on everyone? We are back with another StarCraft unboxing, and today we are looking at the Stalkers for StarCraft, the tabletop miniatures game from Archon. This is your Wave 1 big elite unit for the Protoss, and there's two of them in this box. We're going to get this box unboxed. We're going to show you what the sprues look like, what the cards look like. We're going to assemble it, share any details with you from assembly, if there's any tips or tricks that go along with it, and show you the finished product at the end of the video. If you like StarCraft, you're in the right place. There's a lot of StarCraft miniatures game stuff coming, and a lot that we've already covered. So if you want to check out the videos, there's a playlist. If you want to stay subscribed to see all the rest of the stuff, we also have a $25 Amazon gift card giveaway going on right now. If you want to have a chance to win that, you just have to be a subscriber, leave a comment on this or one of my other videos. It's as simple as that. And let me know what you think of StarCraft. What's the next big unit you want to see show up in the game? And what's on your wish list for that? I'd love to hear about it in the comment section below. Plus, check links in the description for all of our sponsors, links, discount information, all of that great stuff. Let's get this thing open. All right, so here's the box for the Stalkers. We'll turn around and show you everything that's going to come in here. Again, you're going to get two Stalker miniatures, a unit card, a tactical card, and of course the assembly manual, which we're going to put all that together. You're also going to get some optional plastic parts here. You got your little kind of your shooty bits and your protecty bits with your shields. A lot of cool stuff like that. They don't have all of that shown in the picture here, but they do have an example shown here. I'll probably just assemble them this way and save this stuff for maybe post-painting or something like that, and links to the manual and the rules right there. We'll get this thing open. We've been doing a lot of StarCraft stuff. There's definitely a lot more coming. Have you guys heard about Wave 2? Wave 2 is going to be coming out this summer with more waves. I think Wave 3 is going to have flyers. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming out. They've been publishing, Archon has been publishing a lot of their timelines, and they've been doing a lot of Ask Me Anythings and their socials and in their Discord and all of that stuff. So they've been really forthcoming with information for this game. It's super exciting. All right, we're going to get this thing open. We have... I wonder if this is an extra. I don't think that's part of this, but we have it. All right, there we go. We've got our sprue here. I think we ended up with an extra base, which or maybe it's part of it. I'm honestly not sure. So we got two big bases, two little bases. Maybe it's for the effects. We'll see. We'll see what goes on those bases here. We've got our card. We'll take a look at that. We've got our book here. Oh, we're supposed to have an 80 millimeter and a 32 millimeter base in here. Okay, well that's good to know. See, that's good for me to pay attention. Helps when you read. We've got all of the assembly tips for our Stalkers right there. And what goes on the 32 millimeter base? Oh, it's just the little, I bet you Path of Shadow. Okay, so I bet you this is for blinking, right? Or teleport, or something like that. And then look, this is some of the extra options we're gonna have. But we're gonna put all that together, so we'll be able to take a look at that and see how that's gonna look. Let's take a look at our sprue here. We've got two of them. They look to be identical, so that's gonna be good. So once you put one together, the other one should be pretty easy to go. They look like they're, yeah, they look pretty much exactly the same, which means you're going to be, but yet there's slight different build options, so it looks like you're going to have options in how you put them together. So that is cool. We have the big, the big side, and then a couple of big parts, and then a couple of smaller parts. They don't look super complicated, and none of the pieces look too small. So it looks like it shouldn't be too hard. Now let's look at our clear plastic sprue. I love the shieldy bits that we're getting here. We got some of these which look like they're going to go on the inside, and of course these are going to be like those little gem adornments pieces right here. And of course, if you want these to have this same look, you're probably going to want to do a thing where you paint it on the sprue. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to glue them all together, which means these are probably going to get primed over and repainted over, and then I'll just paint them as normal. But for folks who want to take advantage of this and have them, kind of still having this particular look, you may have to then put like tape or putty or something over it when you're doing your priming and painting, and then you can keep it looking this way. Or maybe you do a little bit where you do a little bit of paint to it, or an ink or something like that over the top of it. But I'm just going to prime and paint over all of this internal bits, and then I'll save the shieldy bits for when we're doing our basing and we're trying to fancy up and customize our models at that point. Let's take a look at the cards here. All right, so we've got the cards set up here, and this is, here's the Stalker. He's going to have his tags of Armored, Mechanical, and Ground. He's going to be Shield 3, he's Speed 4 to 8, 4 up Armor, 6 up Evade, 6 hit points, and he's Size 3. This is a big boy. Yeah, so there's our model supply numbers. Squadron, he's got a passive of Coherency of 4 inches. He does have Blink on the movement phase. Which is nice for, there's his weapons. He's got the particle disruptors at a 12-inch range, and then Stomp for the engaged range. So you definitely want to be shooting with this one, probably more so, and then blinking away, it sounds like. If we flip it over and look at the back, we can see that he's an elite 80 millimeter base. Path of Shadows is he's gonna be hidden, so that's probably how this token is going to come into effect there, and not necessarily for blinking, like, oh, I'm going to blink to here. So that's kind of cool. And then the assault phase, we have the upgrade of Fury of the Nezarim. So that's a look at there. We also are going to get a Nexus card here, which is going to have the Supply 2 core. I don't know if this is the, I don't know if this is the right card for this one, because I thought this would have had elites on here, so it's possible that maybe I got the wrong card. I'm not 100% sure. If anybody out there does pick up a Stalker, let me know what card came with it, because I thought it would have been, the other boxes have a card that gives you the elite or something like that. So that's an interesting one. But yeah, so this is the card that comes that I got in this box. So there we go. And now let's put the models together. So as we're assembling the Stalker, one of the first steps takes this translucent blue piece in here and puts it in between these two side pieces. One of the things that I'm noticing, I don't know if how well you can see this here, but this particular section, even though after it's glued, kind of gets pried open. See, the tension on these two pieces is pushing the other side out, and every time I close it up, it opens back up again, and it's only just a little bit here. It was worse on the other one. One of the things that I would recommend potentially is that once you get it done and you have a little bit of glue on the insides of these pieces, consider coming in here and then like snipping this little bar, just to give it a little more wiggle room, and maybe just trimming it down a little bit in there so that it's not pushing this piece open quite so heavily, because every time I try to put more glue in there, I have to just hold, or you could just get a vice grip and hold it down for a good 10 minutes or so, and so it won't kind of grip apart anymore. But as long as that piece kind of, see how it bends up in there, that's fine, because nothing else needs to grip onto that piece, but do make sure you glue your side bits in first. Side bits. So as we get farther down, it's important not to glue this piece into place, because it will eventually become a ball joint that can move around, and you can always slip some glue in there if you do want to lock it into place. When we come up later on to the headpiece, we're going to have a couple of options for what we put in at the top. One option is this one, and there's enough for us to do both of them like that, or we also have this option of the kind of the teardrop version that has the beams kind of shooting out. So it's always important to dry fit and make sure you figure out which one you want. You can only do one of them like this. So if you're not going to want to have the particle effects on there, then there are two options. You do have the option to go with this one for both as well. All right, we are assembled and ready to show these guys off. A couple of things. There is an optional piece where you put this kind of sash around the waist. I didn't like the idea of the sash being on there. No loincloths for my Protoss. I prefer them in the nude, in the Protossian nude, so it is totally kid appropriate. I have no idea. But yeah, I just didn't want to put that piece on there. I kind of like the way that they look and being able to see the machinery and everything like that. Also, this head crystal, I didn't glue this one down because you don't really have to if you want to take it out, although if you go with the other one you'll have a hard time taking it out. So I'm keeping the head crystal with the laser beams in there for now. I may take it out and change it up, but I'll show it off for the rest of this. The rest of it went together really nicely. The big shields do move around. You have a lot of options with those, so that's kind of cool. The front arms were the hardest part to get on there because you really had to, it was kind of just a flat piece onto another flat piece. It wasn't, the grooves for it weren't as really defined and carved out, so it was harder to get those to stay where I wanted them to stay. So I had to hold those for like about a minute or two each in place before they kind of locked in. And even now they're, you know, you can see it moves around a little bit. But I'll put a little more cement on there. I just have to probably sand it down some more. And when you're assembling it, and a little extra goo, maybe some sprue goo in there to kind of help like lock it in place. But other than that, real nice looking miniature, gorgeous models, really. There are some differences. Even though the two sprues look the same, the one has the front right leg down and the other has the front right leg raised. So they are slightly different, and I guess the two faces are slightly different between the two. One the beard is going straight down, and one the beard is blowing in the wind ever so slightly. But the pieces are all numbered the same. Now the differences between the two models are pretty much negligible. The biggest difference is just that the one arm is raised. I do like what they've got going on here. It's a pretty cool and very detailed model, and very big too. They're gorgeous. So I'm getting a kick out of them. They're super nice looking, and it'd be fun to get these painted up as well. All right, that is going to do it for our Stalker unboxing and assembly for StarCraft, the tabletop miniatures game. Let me know what you want to see next and what you're most excited about the future of StarCraft, the tabletop miniatures game, down in the comments section below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all, and always wash your socks.